fordert die Nummer 7 der Welt heraus, einer der European Tour Champion aus dem vergangenen Jahr 2018 gewann er seinen ersten Major-Sieg bei dem Grand Slam of Darts 2018. Aus Wales, the Iceman, Gerwyn Price.
Jumping with the bass kicked in and the Vegas all pumping. Quick to the point, no faking. Cooking MCs like a pound of bacon. Burning them, being quick and nimble. I go crazy when I hear.
In den Viertelfinals wird die Distanz Best of 11 Legs gespielt. Das heißt, wer 6 Legs gewinnt, zieht in das Halbfinale ein. Und wir freuen uns auch, dass er hier ist. Der Caller, the Puppy, George Noble.
Welcome to the German Darts Open here at the Saarlandhalle in Saarbrücken, Germany. A new champion will be crowned tonight in this tournament following the demise of previous winners Peter Snakebite Wright and last year's champion Max Hopp. We are down to 8 players. Every single one of them is in the top 16 in the world rankings, and we've got half of the world's top 8. The majority of them have won major titles, all bar 2. The majority, all bar 2, have won Euro Tour titles, and they're not the same 2. One of them, in fact, is the former world champion Rob Cross. He is yet to be victorious on the European Tour circuit, and he's looking to put that right tonight against a winner in Austria last year and the winner of the Grand Slam of Darts, Gerwyn Price. It is the number 1 from England versus the number 1 from Wales in the opening quarter-final this evening. I'm Dan Dawson. Paul Nicholson, former Players Champion, is alongside me for the opening game of the night. Voltage and the Iceman for a spot in the semis.
Well, we could be seeing this one in the World Cup as well.
First leg going to throw first. Game on.
Both of these lads are going to be captaining their countries in Hamburg at the beginning of June. Really can't wait for that, but it's all about who can cross the line tonight. Someone will write another chapter.
26.
And can Rob Cross get that elusive European Tour crown? Can Gerwyn Price add to his existing tally?
99.
Well, we've seen some incredible quality already this weekend. Dave Chisnell, spellbinding. Nathan Aspinall, incredible.
140.
Strangely, Michael van Gerwen, not very impressive. I mean, I can say he averaged 100 and he beat Raymond van Barneveld in the last leg decider. You know, you average 100 and beat a 5-time world champion, you'd think you're doing something right. But
140.
not convincing, was it?
No, not really. I think he lives by very high standards, does Michael. And there were gaps in that performance that maybe someone like Cross, maybe someone like Price would have swallowed up that opportunity.
Well, maybe, although both of them seem to have a mental block about beating MVG. Price can't hit a winning double against him, and Rob Cross can barely get anything more than 2 legs at the minute.
Shall I use a better example? Someone like Aspinall, for instance.
Someone like maybe Ian White, who's beaten MVG at this tournament the last 2 years, and they could meet in the final. Imagine that.
He's got to win the Stoke Derby first.
He has. Now then, Rob Cross to break throw in the opening leg. Treble 19 leaves the ball for 127 and game. Nails the button for the first leg.
Yeah, the next game is a bit like the midweek match between Man City and Man United. Whoever comes through it still has a chance. But Rob Cross with some sort of statement in that first leg.
59.
He was impressive earlier. I thought he played really well against Joe Cullen. Made it very difficult for Jordan. Most of the time when Joe loses a match, he walks away with a little bit of anger. But today he didn't have that because Rob Cross just, in Joe's words, didn't make a mistake and didn't allow me to do anything wrong, and I made too many mistakes myself.
Yeah, he stuck his head around the door in our little
57.
commentary booth we've got set up and said, I'm not that fussed, because those legs where you think, oh, he makes a mistake and I'm in here, he didn't he just kept hitting good scores.
99.
And it was a 101.5 average in the end for Rob Cross, but for most of the game it was closer to 110.
There's a couple of games like that this afternoon with Chizzy and his incredible first 9 average of 136.
140.
Which was over 140 most of the game.
Yeah, Chizzy ended up with 106 average, but it was actually closer to 120 for a lot of that game. Nathan Aspinall has got better and better and better as the weekend has gone on. And arguably as the last 6 months have gone on.
We were talking just off the air before this started, weren't we, about people
85.
trying to complete the set. Well, Rob Cross is looking to do that. He's got the World Series. He's got the World Championship, the TV title, of course. He's got the Pro Tours. He hasn't got a European Tour.
98.
Nathan Aspinall's looking to
60.
finish his little trio of things. He's got the Pro Tour. He's got the TV one. He's looking for the Euro Tour. And then potentially he's got the opportunity for the World Series crown later this year.
Nathan Aspinall could go from having 0 PDC titles to having a Pro Tour, a major TV title and a Euro
94.
Tour in the space of about 6 months, incredibly.
108.
108 for Price. 417s. Would have given him a dart at his favourite double top.
52.
Where does Rob Cross go for 66?
66.
Options. He might even go 54 here for double 6. I was looking at the 10s. 20 for double 18. Ooh, pulled that one a bit.
Go and you require 56.
We know where Gerwin's going for this. That's there.
So on the second leg.
Absolutely no doubt whatsoever to break straight
Third
back.
leg going to throw first. Game on.
Maybe there's some fans out there who can help me with a bit of a mystery, which I've just created in my own head.
This could be tricky. Go on.
There's a few. Why does Gerwin Price wear blue and white? There's a lot of Welsh players, and predominantly they all wear Welsh colours, but I guess he's not like that. Is this directly correlated to maybe the colours of Markham where he lives, or the rugby team he may have played for before? But he's a big lover of the white and light blue, isn't he?
He's the Iceman.
140.
Can't be that simple.
Ice baby. Come on, man.
What kind of water do you put in your ice cube trays? That's not...
Slightly blue water.
You must have nicer water around your neck of the woods than me.
136.
Chateau 7 Trent, mate. Only the best.
Sounds lovely when you put it like that.
Wow, yeah.
Well aged as well.
171.
The horse.
See, that's where you need the sound effect on the stage. You get the sound of the horse.
Well, look. Treble 20, treble 19, treble 18, for my money, is better than a 180. 3 separate trebles, all pinned.
Get that at cricket and you'll be definitely in front. Double 16. Oh, yeah, that's good from Price. Said earlier on, Dan, about his want to get better at different parts of the board and make his overall game more reliable. He is getting better at double 16.
Part of the reason is he's leaving it because he was doing stupid things at one point to avoid that section of the board. So, for example, if he had 76 with 3 darts in his hand, he'd hit 2 18s to leave double top. You know, giving him sort of half a chance he might put it into the double with his first dart. Whereas now he just goes straight at the treble 20, he gets 2 darts at double 8, he's more willing to go for it, he's practicing it, and he's hitting it. And it's made him a better player. But he's going to have to be somewhere near his best, you feel, against Rob Cross in this one. This is actually a repeat of last year's quarter-final at this tournament.
60.
And Rob Cross spanked Gerwin by 6 legs to 1 with 105 average. And it wouldn't surprise you if Rob Cross averages 105 again here today, because that's what he's been doing in all tournaments. The majority of games he's played this year, he's averaged over 100, and a lot have been big averages.
That's pretty big. I don't care who you are, you can't even finish from 3, 4, 5.
121.
51 to lay it up, or that, and a nice leave. There are players in the world who, on that 1-2-1, would have gone for it. James Richardson, especially, because he sees a shot, he goes for it.
130.
But there's no point. Lay up for a double you like and go back and back yourself. And that's one thing that Rob Cross does. He backs his ability, goes up and hits, just like that.
And a lot of the thing about Rob Cross and these monster averages he's been hitting, he does top the averages list on the Pro Tour stuff. And I mean, last week he went into his game with Michael van Gerwen and he had a tournament average of 104, and there was, you know, enormous stuff in there. And look, he's ticking along at 102.5 for the event so far. It's the finishing, because he steps up and he will pin it first dart, and he will do that 3, 4, 5 legs in a row. You're not surprised halfway through a game, or even getting towards the end of a game, to see Rob Cross averaging 70% or 80% on his doubles, because he goes on these runs where he just does not miss the double. And that, the difference, I was talking with Richard Ashdown, our spotter, this weekend in Germany, it's very much what Phil Taylor used to do. If you take a shot out, if you're on a double after 12 darts, you take that double out first dart, you're averaging 115 nearly. If you miss the first 2 and then pin it, yeah, it makes no difference to the game. You've seen it off in 5 visits, but that's 100 average. That's the difference between 100 average and a silly, ridiculous record-smashing average.
Correct. Got to score heavy to put yourself in the position.
But that's not a problem for this man.
No.
Not a problem for this man either.
Can you find that 57? Ooh, he was just short. That was a great camera angle, because he saw the dart just die at the last 1% of time to go underneath that wire. And Cross has himself a break opportunity, staring down that 51.
20 for ball. He's already pinned the bullseye once in this match for a 12-dart break of throw. And he does it again. Rob Cross has had winning legs of 12, 12 and 13. And he is 3 out of 4 on his doubles, 75%, and he's averaging 110, because this is what he can do to you.
Well, maybe he's looking for some sort of redemption after 12 months ago, because he played this well, didn't get over the line, and he was booed off the stage because of the fact he got beaten by Max Hopp.
131.
Well, Gerwyn Price had to endure 105 average from Rob Cross at this stage last year when he got a hiding. He's come out and he's firing in 105 average himself, and he's still losing the game, because Rob Cross, he had 111 average last weekend on the European Tour.
You know what, when Phil Taylor retired just over a year ago, there were a lot of people who were thinking maybe that the next crop of dart players weren't going to live up to what he built. Well, I actually think they're better than what we thought. We're looking at players like Cross, like Gerwyn Price, who are not from the Phil Taylor generation. They're from the new generation, and they are just better. They are constantly banging 100 averages. Now, if this was a game 15 years ago, we would have been still talking about it now. But this is the new standard.
Well, certainly the strength in depth has never been better. And another one in there leaves a dart at the bullseye. And oh my God, it can't be. It can't be a third bullseye checkout, can it?
He hasn't taken his eyes off it yet. Oh, he shook it.
139. You require 50.
He's not going for the bull. Tops. Big dart.
30.
Wow. Well, we're at a stage at the moment where the standard in this game is so high that that is a fatal mistake. If you miss a couple of darts for an 11 or 12 darter, that might be the difference between victory and defeat.
That was the owl shot. 2-8. And he misses the double 4.
And you require 20.
Double 10, he gets away with it.
No further errors from Gerwyn Price as he breaks straight back.
Game on.
What a contest we've got here. Gerwyn Price has won a couple of titles already this year. Rob Cross, ridiculously, hasn't. But the way he's been playing, it seems inevitable. But people keep doing special things against him, or he runs into Van Gogh and he just can't play his normal game, seemingly. The one time this year that Cross has faced Van Gogh and played pretty well was in a Euro Tour final, and he was beaten 8-6. The other times he's been heavily beaten by MVG. Now, knowing Rob and listening to him over the last couple of years,
139.
I don't think he's got to the point where he wants somebody to take MVG out. He wants to have a go at him and beat him, but...
He's always been like that, though.
Yeah, he has. But whether there's something in his head that just inhibits him, maybe it would be better for somebody to take MVG out. Maybe that's his best chance of winning this title right now.
Otherwise known as doing a wadie during the Phil Taylor era, where someone would take Phil out and then James would sweep up. That's why he had the practice room nickname the janitor for a while, because he would always clean up.
99.
Well, we're going to have another attempt at the 164. But Rob Cross, you'd still make him favourite for this leg against the Price throw. Certainly now. I mean, the number of trebles these guys are hitting.
60 coming in.
99.
No, just a bit shy.
164.
Staying up top for this one. 54. Conventional. Slightly pulled.
122.
The bullseye missed in consecutive legs for the 164. Gerwyn Price, of course, was playing a game with Michael Smith the other day in Premier League. They're both hit 170s in consecutive legs. But Rob Cross wants double 10 as the pendulum swings once again in this match.
Well, he's lambasting himself for that dart.
70.
Probably will be after that one as well. Chance missed.
Going you require 42.
Is it time Gezi gets away with one? He's got 2 darts at double. He can't get 10s either. And as good as it has been up to this point, small misses like that may be the difference, like Dan just said.
Well, who can hold the nerve? Single 3 for double 1.
No score. Going you require.
Someone's put the wall up and they're both hitting it. Double 10. Both on 5s now.
Well, this is silly. In the last 3 minutes, these two guys have just missed bullseyes for 164s. Now they can't take out double 10 and double 5 and double 1. What's going on?
Straight for it.
Surely now. There it is. Didn't really use that guide in any meaningful way, but he finds the target. 4-3. Yet another break of throw.
Just looking at his face there, he pulled that one. He was going for the guide. The good thing is if you pull that shot, you've got lots of room to the left. As long as you get the weight predominantly right.
140.
All right, normal service resumed.
Look, the scoring has not been an issue in this game at any stage, even when they have started missing doubles in the last couple of legs. They're still averaging round about the 100 mark, even though they are less than 30% on their doubles, the pair of them. That shows you how well they've scored, as does that first 9 average. And that is even better than these guys have been doing in the floor tournaments, the Players' Championship events this year, where they're both averaging around about 110 for their first 9.
Get the feeling these guys are really comfortable playing big darts against each other. I think these two head-to-head in a really long world match play game would be a very good spectacle.
Well, they're certainly... You think everything is gearing up for these guys to be incredibly dangerous contenders at the World Match Play in Blackpool this summer. That's very much the tournament where Gerwyn Price announced himself to a lot of people by beating Adrian Lewis. It's not worked out for Rob Cross so far. He's had early exits both times. But to open up a 2-leg gap, double 12 for Voltage.
Smaller pause, that one. More assured. And that's some bounce back after those missed darts at double. Gets himself an 11 darter and puts his average going in the other direction, the upward turn.
Well, that's it. He's had an 11, a couple of 12s, a 13. That silly leg where they were missing darts at double, but it really is. The winning legs for Rob Cross are superb.
60.
Well, the way that these guys have positioned themselves in the game and their ages and their ability levels, it could be
58.
a very big rivalry for the next few years. It could be the classic English-Welsh rivalry from years gone by, likes of Leighton Rees versus John Law, you know, Richie Burnett versus Steve Beaton.
130.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, Gerwyn Price is the world number 7. Rob Cross is the world number 2. Gerwyn Price is now playing better than ever, and Rob Cross
99.
believes he's got more to give. He thinks that he'll be able to unlock more than he's got right now and turn into the, not just the leading player in the world, but the dominant player in the world is what Rob Cross's goal is.
I was going to put another one in the mix there for you. Mark Webster and Glenn Moody.
Well, I mean, it's not the first one that sprang to mind.
It's just that Webby always says that that's one of his best victories. You know, against an absolute lunatic from the northeast of England. But another 164.
He missed the ball for it. Gerwyn Price missed the ball for it. Rob Cross going the more, well, not the more conventional way, but the way you expect him to go for the 164 and unable to get it.
25 got. Game saving, double 10 coming in. Does he believe?
55.
Maybe the game is gone. And Cross has just been too strong. And all those misses at double may come back and haunt Price and bite him right now.
Only one match start for Rob Cross, but double 16 will seal the deal.
36. Go when you require 10.
Well, funnily enough, it's double 5 that he finds himself on again. Gets it this time, and that look tells a story. He'll be thinking, why couldn't I get you last time as well? But he's still in this, still fighting, he's still gritting his teeth. Who's your favourite rivalry in history of darts? If you had to go away from the natural ones, you know, the Taylor Priestley, Taylor Part, give me something that's a little different.
93.
Nicholson Hybrex.
That was fun for me, sometimes.
It's fun to watch.
It was never dull.
Certainly not.
47.
A lot of people tend to forget about Kim's first Europeans when he played Wes Newton. They weren't exactly friendly.
No. Oh. It was fiery stuff. And, well, you know, when Gerwyn Price first announced himself and that World Match Play beat Adrian Lewis, they fell out. There was words there. If he could turn this around, it could be Gerwyn Price, Adrian Lewis in the semi-finals here.
I think Gezi has grown since then. He was so raw and talented back then, but he's, I think the right word is, harnessed everything since then and become a completely different beast.
Absolutely. So much so that
40.
if Adrian Lewis were to beat Ian White and Gerwyn Price were to win this one against Rob Cross, you would think that Gezi would be the favourite. He's certainly 9 places higher in the world rankings. That's a decent setup shot, and maybe Gerwyn Price is going to turn this around.
Well, he's doing this against the darts. If he can ping that 72, Cross is under the cosh a little bit.
77. Go when you
Now,
require
it's all
72.
down to this. Gezi gets this, he's the favourite. Double 12. Brilliant.
On the 10th leg,
That's just pure
Gerwyn
belief from Gezi Price. 5-all. A great game so far.
Final leg go into
Cross is
the
probably
reverse.
thinking, I had you in the palm of my
Game on.
hand. What's happened?
Seemed like he was in control of this game, having taken a 5-3 lead, but Gerwyn Price had other ideas, and he is looking for his first
97.
win against Rob Cross since he beat him in April last year in a quarter-final on the European Tour in Graz, where he went on to make the final. He was beaten by the ferret, his fellow Welshman Johnny Clayton.
Identical checkout stats tell a story. This is a very even game.
And Price is now averaging more than Rob Cross. And it's because of a few misses at double.
That wouldn't have happened last year. 12 months ago, if you'd have said to me that Gezi was going to out-average Rob Cross, I wouldn't have believed you. But now I would.
100.
Well, you'd better, because it's a fact. Ooh.
58.
Now. Rob Cross is capable of taking 301 in 2 visits.
He is. Needs 2 big green bits.
Can't do it now.
93.
So it's going to all be about the setup shots from here.
This is where tactics come into play. Got to be smart here. Another one of them would be handy. That's
96.
bare minimum, really.
Well, no stranger to the 170. We saw it from him in Cardiff in the Premier League directly after Michael Smith hit one against him. Rob Cross is poised. That is superb. 68 left for the match, unless Gezi can reel this one in. And he might. Oh, a little smirk from Price. I think he fancied it.
105.
It all comes down to 2 magnificent players in a great game on 60-odd checkouts. Cross, perfect on the 60. 2 at 4s to break in the final leg. It's Desmond. It's there! Cross has nicked it! Gilbert Price will be sick as a chip because he had the darts in leg 11, but they were so closely packed, those 2. It was always going to be a bit of a coin flip. Is it Rob Cross's turn? We know it's not Gezi Price's turn. He will be back for Graz to see if he can go one further, but Cross will be back in an hour and a half to see if he can make the final. He will play either Ian White or Adi Lewis. Can't wait for that. Stay with us. The next one is Adi Lewis against Ian White.
Beide vom Average her so die 100. Rob, congratulations. You made it complicated at the end, huh? This match started when you were up, was it 5-3? I think so, yeah.
No, in fairness, as the game went on, it started to get harder, and I started to miss too many doubles and messing around. And when I come out, I felt brilliant, but I ended on a low. So, no, it's one of them, and I was really glad to win. The 68 was important there. I ain't hit double 2 for 6 months, so that was a bit better. Nah, but everything's good, so I can't complain.
Rob, am I right? You haven't won a European Tour event yet. You played a couple of finals. I was thinking you should change it, you know? Perhaps it's this weekend.
All 3, Michael. But no, in fairness, I love the European Tour. They're great fans and everything what goes with them. I like playing on stage. I prefer these than Pro Tours, in fairness. I always play better and all, well, on the stage. But no, it's enjoyable, and my day will come. And when it comes, and then maybe not stop. So we'll just see how it goes. But no, I'm really enjoying it at the minute.
Cool. Thank you very much. See you later. Rob Cross.